GrengaInterview.com.
Tom Grenga, I said that right? Tom Grenga here with Bethel Motor Speedway. Tom, I'm looking at this car. I remember seeing cars like this in the 60s when I was a kid. Tell us a little bit.
Well, it is. It's actually a recreation of a 1968 sprint car. It's basically designed after Steve Stapp, so anybody from that era could look at this car and know it was a Steve Stapp car. And if you remember who drove for Steve Stapp, it was Pancho Carter when he was USAC champion. And this particular car, even though it looks and was built to look like a 68, it was actually built in 1978. It had a cage on it, and Tommy Dixon, who was Larry Dixon's brother. Larry Dixon was a champion at USAC. So Tommy was his brother, and he was going to go to USAC in 78. And they had the car, beautiful. It's a first-class USAC car, had the cage. I guess his father saw the car and said, "It's got a spring front, I don't want the spring front," which was still a competitive car. So the guy that built it for him got upset, said, "Well, that's it." He put it in cold storage till 1990, believe it or not.
Wow.
Then this guy, his name's on the other side, Grover Ritter his name is, he bought it, he took the cage off, put the roll bar on, and made it look like a 1968 car, which is, at this point, the greatest era of sprint car racing. That was Foyt, Parnelli Jones, all those guys. Mm-hmm. I actually started racing in a open cockpit sprint car in 1969. I raced with URC, United Racing Club, and in 70, 71, they put cages on the cars. I didn't like the idea because that was, I found out later, I was happy they put the cages on.
Uh-huh.
But, so anyway, I drove for URC. I ended up doing a lot of central Pennsylvania. I drove up with the Oswego guys quite a bit up in Canada, mostly East Coast, and through the 70s. And I drove a little bit in the 80s with the ESS.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I've done. Never a huge star or anything, but I was very competitive. Money's awful tough. Anybody that races know how tough that is. And I got married, and there were other priorities. But I loved racing.
What was your favorite racetrack to race at back in the day?
Back in the day, well, everybody says Williams Grove. I didn't have the motor in a car. Williams Grove, you got to have a heck of a motor. But I raced against on asphalt at Fulton, New York, against the Oswego guys, even with the smaller motor, because it was a third-mile track. I could stay with them and run really good with all their top guys. But probably one of my favorite tracks was Middletown. We raced a lot at Middletown. And just URC was a great organization. It was like a family. So I have nothing but good things to say about URC. So that's kind of it. Now ACOT has given us old timers a shot to go out. I'm a little bit. I have one with them because this has got a 377 Chevy. It's a full race, so it's a powerful car. But we're going to be racing with the midgets. And this car it's going to be tough with the midgets because the midgets will fly around this track. We got the power, but you can't get it through the turns the way the midgets are. So I got to be a little careful. I don't want to mess anybody up.
All right. Well, Jim, got fun time. Tom, have fun tonight. Enjoy yourself. Great talking. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Joe Larson, Bethel Motor Speedway.
Okay.